No, because it seemed like she was just leeching off you to have her own accountability partner, but wasn't what was not being one to you. And it's supposed to be equal. But it's like, girl, you shouldn't need it's been going on for years. You shouldn't need this anymore. You should be able to do this by yourself. If we've been doing this for years, like, girl, when are you gonna get your own motivation to do something without me in the back constantly hyping you up?
Okay,
Okay.
so I got a couple of in my opinions for us.
Okay, let's go.
See what you well, this one I'm just mainly curious as what you just think about this. I think most people would agree with this, but
Okay.
I could be
Okay.
wrong.
Okay.
Okay, this one says, in my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
reinventing yourself doesn't need a new year. It just needs new energy. You transform the moment you tell the truth about what no longer fits.
Definitely agree with that. You could change your life on a Tuesday in October. I don't
Literally.
think you need January 1st to change your life.
Literally. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, yeah, I would agree with that wholeheartedly
Mm-hmm.
because why do you need a new year to change something that you want to change in your life?
Some people, it's just that time frame gives them the extra kick they need to get it into gear, I guess. But the problem is, as we all know, same way gyms are so crowded. Like, avoid the gym from January to March. Don't even go. But after that, they fade off because they weren't real about it. It was just a whimsy thought. I'm gonna go to the gym type thing.
Yeah, I do think people need to be more,
Realistic with yourself. Start off with like a walking challenge for yourself before you go buy a gym membership and you haven't been to the gym in 12 years.
not even that, be realistic with yourself.
That's what I said. Start with like a
If
walking challenge and work like, okay, if you can manage that, like, see how much you want it with smaller things first before you start up in the
And that's
ante.
not even what I'm talking about. I'm talking about doesn't matter what the workout is. Be honest with yourself. Most people know if they ain't gonna continue that shit when they started. They just ain't being honest with themselves
That's
and
why
they
I
doing
said
it
start
anyway.
something free before, because it's hard to get them gym contracts. They don't play,
Whether it's free or not, they know they ain't gonna do it. I
but
don't
they
care.
join.
I don't care if, like, if I was to come to you and say, "Oh, I'm gonna start walking one day a week," you know damn well I ain't gonna do that every week.
Well, my response is gonna be, are you gonna walk? Did you buy a walking pad? Are you gonna walk
Even if I
inside?
bought a walking pad, that's why I don't have a walking pad because I want a treadmill, and I'm like, I know damn well if I was to buy a treadmill, I'm gonna use that thing for all of a month, and then it's just gonna sit there.
And they too expensive to be playing around like that.
And just like at one point, I said I was gonna walk around my housing edition when it was nice enough weather to do that.
Yeah.
I did it for like seriously like a month, and then after that, I was like, oh, I don't want to do it no more.
Well, I guess you get bored of the scenery.
So I'm like, be honest with yourself. Whether you're doing it for free or paying money for it, are you actually gonna do this?
Well, then sometimes people get roped into stuff with other people. Like, hey, do this with me. I want to do this and I need your support. And they get wrapped up in it and they never want to do it. And their friend wasn't serious about it either. And it's two people just wasting their time.
And I gotta the are we wrong is actually similar about that on that topic. But yeah, I agree with that too. I'm like, look, no, if you don't need a new year to change your life.
Sure don't.
You just need the will to change your life.
It just comes from the understanding one day if you look around and go, you know what, this ain't it.
This ain't it.
This ain't it.
I
And then
just
you
don't want to.
change.
I
You
wonder
change.
how many people would actually be honest with themselves. Are you where you want to be in your life? What would it take for you to have what you ultimately want out of life?
'Cause
Do
the thing
people really
is, they
know
do know how
what
to
they
get
really
there.
want out of life? Like, this
They
is
do know.
21 questions for the audience. Are you happy? Do you know what you wanting out of life? How can you get what you want out of life? What would that look like for you?
Jocelyn, they already know. They don't want to do what they know, but they also are not happy where they are. But they know. Like, we all know. Let's say somebody, I want to lose weight. You know exactly what to do, but do you want it?
that
enough to
enough to do it.
do what you need to do.
And I can use myself as an example. Now, granted, yes, I've lost a couple of pounds, but I know if I really wanted to lose weight and I wanted to lose it
You
quickly,
know
I
exactly what
know
to
how to
do.
do it because I've done it in the past. But also, I'm like, I don't really want to though.
But that's what I'm saying. Like everyone knows, like you know what you want, and more than likely in today's
Well, then I
world of
guess
with information being at your fingertips, there's no way for you to not know. Quite frankly,
my question for people would be for the folks that are trying to get out of the situation that they're
hmm
in, the people that recognize, no, I'm not happy where I am, but I am putting the work in to get out of this situation. What was the thing that told you to do that? What was that one thing that made you go, this is enough?
and it's always one catalyst that just boop,
That just
just takes
yeah.
you over. You like, I ain't doing this no more.
And like what made you what was
hmm
that event? What made you stop and just be like, I can't do this anymore the way I've been doing it. I want a better life for me, my kids, my family, whatever. I just want a better life. And what made you finally just be like, all right, this is what I want, and this is how I plan to get it? I just want more information on that.
Because literally, life is that simple. Like if you decide you want something and you just simply put an action into plan and actually follow through with your plan,
Hmm.
life change just like that.
I mean, yeah, it is that simple. Now, again,
It is that simple,
do
but it
not
ain't.
confuse simple with
With easy.
easy.
No, I no. We never said it was
There's a
easy
lot of things that are simple
and hard.
but hard to actually implement, hard
hmm
in practice. So, yes, a lot of people that are not happy with their lives or where they currently are with them, yes, they know simply this is what would change
Change
my life.
everything, yeah.
But is that easy to get? Probably not.
No.
Most things that are worthwhile is not easy to get.
Sometimes you get lucky, but that's rare.
Yeah.
That's
So
rare.
I thought that was a good one, a good in my opinion. Though I was like, yeah, I think most people have this opinion, but
You'll be surprised.
you would be surprised. But
Unpleasantly
here's
surprised.
in my opinion part 2.
Yes,
This one
yes.
says, in my opinion, the version of you that people expect is often the version holding you back. Reinvention requires disappointing people who benefit from your old identity.
100%.
Man.
100. But that, and I agree with that. Most people, it's other people preventing them because they know what they need to do. They know what they want to do, but they're afraid of hurting people's feelings or disappointing people. And it's like part of being your best self is disappointing someone that benefits from where you are.
And
And you're going to have to let that go.
to me, it's not even your old version that is holding you back. It is their selfishness that's
hmm
holding you back or attempting to hold you back. Hopefully you don't let it, but it's them, their selfishness and their lack of wanting to grow themselves
They want to keep you down because
that is
it's
attempting to
easier
hold you
to
back.
validate themselves being down if they have somebody down with them. If
Exactly.
everybody else is up, they feel stupid being down. So they need somebody to be down there in the trenches with them so they can feel better about themselves.
Exactly. I don't think honestly, I don't think whether I'm changing or whatever and people have issue with it.
hmm
I just don't think that has much to actually do with me.
I go, well, that's you, boo. I'm moving on up. You ain't gotta come. I wish you would, but
But
you ain't got to.
I'm also a person that believes that how anyone feels about me, it
Ain't
has
my
nothing to do
business.
with me.
It ain't none of my
So
business.
if we were friends and I was growing and doing all this stuff or whatever, and then all of a sudden you got a problem because I changed, and I think that should be expected. As I start to do what I would consider to be bettering my life,
hmm
of course my mentality is going to change. So, yeah, they might be right. I probably did change. But to me, I wouldn't be the one that ended the friendship. They would have because they're not growing. They staying where they are. They're the one that refuses to accept that I have evolved, I guess. And that's not to say that they need to. You don't have to.
No, you don't.
But don't expect me to stay as the same OG when I'm trying to get out of this situation. I don't like where my life is, so I want to better it.
But it's like different versions of you require different versions of you. And I don't know why people act like no,
I want my friends to change.
I'm not gonna be the same I was in high school, and I'm not supposed to be. I'm
not gonna be the
grown
same I
woman.
was last year.
Cause I ain't supposed to be.
No, I'm supposed to change.
Mhm.
Now, I would say I don't think I'm supposed to drastically change. It should be slow. But my friends are supposed to change. I just want to change with my friends. But that doesn't mean we necessarily doing the same things.
I mean, but growth is growth is growth. Even if y'all growth are in two different segments of what you want to do with your life, growth is growth. And then you can bond over the growth you're having, whether it's similar or not.
So, do you think has reinventing yourself, changing your life for the better, whatever, has it cost you some friends?
Oh, it always does. It always will.
Yeah, I don't see how you can avoid it. There's unfortunately, at least in my situation, you're always going to have a friend that's not so happy for your success. And even if they don't outright say it, you there's always a feeling. Like, yeah, it's just odd that, after I got that degree, all of a sudden you want nothing to do with me.
Which is odd.
But that's just the fact of the matter. There are just some friends that are only friends with you because both of y'all are down in the trenches. But once you out of the trenches, they like, I don't fuck with you
Well,
like
that
that.
would let me know like our relationship was all based in trauma bonding. That's all that
Exactly.
says to me. It
Exactly.
wasn't a real friendship in the first place. We were just trauma bonding together and calling it friendship.
That is not a friendship that I want. I will
Mm-mm.
be honest about that. But this is also on topic with the friendship files for this week.
Friendship files.
So the friendship files, again, it's a multi-part question.
Okay.
So the first part says, do you think friendships need the same goal to survive?
No.
Yeah, I was like,
Why would you need the same goal?
right.
This
And I
ain't a
was
group, but this ain't work. Like, you don't.
No, I don't expect, like, let's say both of us, like I was I don't expect you to go to school and get an education, like further your education and stuff. I don't expect that from my friends. Just because I chose to go to college doesn't mean I expect my friends to. We don't have the same goals. Maybe that's just not in the cards for you. I mean, you are in college, but I'm saying, like, I wouldn't have stopped being your friend if you was like, nah,
well,
college
because
ain't for me.
some people do that. Like, I don't want you uneducated people.
Dude, I will tell you some of the most educated people that I know did not go to college.
It's real out here.
I'm like, or they didn't go to traditional college.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think my friends need to have the same goals as me. But I will say this. I could be just a terrible friend or whatever. I do think that me and my friends have to have some kind of overlapping interests.
Well, you gotta come together on something.
Yeah.
Something.
And I'm just saying, like, even if, let's say, me and you been friends for like 5 years or whatever. We haven't been friends for 5 years, but let's say we have. And like you're in college now. Let's say I wasn't in college. I wasn't doing stuff to grow.
Yeah.
And you have been, which we just said, as you continue to grow, your interests change.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still same old Jocelyn I was 5 years ago. You're a new Jade. Our interests don't really line up no more. So we don't really hang out.
Because to talk about what?
Because we don't have the same interests anymore. That doesn't mean that you don't still have love for me. If you see me, you're like, oh, hey, how's it going? Blah, blah, blah. Not bad blood at all. But at the same time, it's like I would hang out with you, but when the last few times we did, we ain't really had shit to talk about because we ain't got the same interests anymore.
What we gonna talk about? But that is something that naturally happens all the time, and people don't want to admit how natural that is. Like, that is natural for you to go, you know what? We want two different things in life. We don't even got nothing in common anymore. I don't hate you or anything. We just ain't got nothing in common
But that's when
anymore.
that whole, the saying, some friends are meant to be here for a season.
Mm-hmm.
That's where that
The
comes
season's
in.
up.
The season is up. And it could be like I told somebody that commented on one of our other ones. It could be just because I've been jaded by past friendships that I have that mentality now. But I 100% understand that maybe not all friendships are meant to be forever.
Lifelong friendships. They're
And
just
now
not.
that doesn't mean I go into them thinking that. Every friendship I started, I thought that we were going to be lifelong friends. But I also recognize the fact that, sometimes that's just not realistic. And that's okay too.
Yeah, because then people go through things, like people go through their own traumas that change them. It's like life is interesting.
But here's the other thing that I guess part 2 to this question. Can the career driven friend be friends long term with the friend that's not career driven?
But I don't know, because just because they're not career driven doesn't mean they're driven in other areas.
Exactly.
So as long as they have something that they're doing, but of course, if you just sitting in your parents' house watching TV and I'm climbing the ladder trying to get my life together, I'm gonna view you as a bum and I ain't gonna want to do with you. And that's just the truth.
And see, and I'm even different in that situation. That's fine if the only time we ever hang out is to just watch TV. That's cool. I watch a lot of K-dramas.
But we gonna have to have something else in common.
You need to be interested in the types of shows that I watch then, because like let's say me and you will now, you don't watch a ton of K-dramas and stuff like
But
that.
I indulge.
But you indulge. But let's say you were the friend that was just sitting around watching TV all day, and I'm the one that kept climbing the ladder, career driven, all that other stuff. I could be like, oh yeah, me and Jay still hang out. We at least once a month we'll just sit around and we'll just watch TV. That's our interest.
Yeah, but if there's no TV, there's
Yeah,
nothing.
but if we don't even have that, then it's like, well, I don't want to just sit here and look at you though.
That's why I said you gotta have something else you're doing. Because even if their interest was just watching TV, they can make money off of that. I mean, there's a way for you to do something.
Yeah, I just don't think
there's always a way to do
you can
something.
be friends with people that don't have the exact same goals.
Well,
and stuff as
drive doesn't have anything to do with friendship.
No.
You can be friends with someone that has different amount of drive than you.
Me personally, I think if you're going to be friends with somebody, y'all need to have some kind of
common
overlapping interest.
Yeah, you have to tell them
like
common interest.
What are y'all going to talk about? What are y'all going to do with each other? Like, that is what I'm looking for friendships. If I can't find some kind of commonality that we can bond over, it's like, then I don't particularly consider you a friend. You're just an acquaintance.
You can know a lot of people. That don't make them your friend.
Yeah. So,
because you're supposed to have stuff in common with friends. That's the point. That's the point of friends.
That's what I thought. So no, I don't think that friends need to have the same goal, and I do think that career-driven people can be close friends for long term with people that's not career-driven.
Has anyone seen a rom-com? Isn't that always the dynamics?
Yeah, but in rom-coms, they always end up with the rich guy.
The loser always gets the rich guy. You like, this is not real. The career-driven best friend is the one that would have ended up with him. But anywho,
and the career-driven one always end up alone,
making candles. Like,
not making candles,
and not even selling them. Just silly shit.
Just as a hobby.
Get out of here.
Okay, so you ready for the Are We Wrong?
Yeah. What is it?
Okay, so this week's says, so my friend Bria and I have been doing this little accountability partner thing for the past couple of years. Mostly her idea, just checking in on goals, fitness, budgeting, all that stuff, the typical things. And she says, I don't mind supporting my friends, but honestly, it's always been a little one-sided. She'll hype me up for one day and then disappear for 3 weeks. Last week, she texted me this long message about how she wants us to go harder next year and be more consistent with check-ins and weekly calls. It is it is that time of year when people start talking about the new year, new me
Yeah.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I just stared at the message and thought, girl, I don't even have the energy for my own life half the time. I can barely hold myself accountable, let alone another full grown adult. I added the full grown adult part. Um, I decided to be honest and said, I love you, but I don't think I can do the accountability partner thing again next year. I want to focus on my own routines without the pressure. I said it in a way that I thought was gentle and direct. She replied with, wow, okay. Didn't know supporting each other was too much for you. Then she hit me with a, it's fine, I'll find someone else. I wasn't trying to hurt her. I just didn't want to commit to something that drains me. So, am I wrong for not wanting to do the accountability partner thing?
No, because it seemed like she was just leeching off you to have her own accountability partner, but wasn't what was not being one to you. And it's supposed to be equal. But it's like, girl, you shouldn't need it's been going on for years. You shouldn't need this anymore. You should be able to do this by yourself. If we've been doing this for years, like, girl, when are you gonna get your own motivation to do something without me in the back constantly hyping you up to do it? I find that odd.
I don't mind having an accountability partner. We have tried to do that before. Neither one of us did it.
Sure didn't.
Um, and that's where the whole being honest with yourself thing comes. I don't ask people to do that shit for me no more because one, I know that I'm gonna forget to do it for them. And then I just expect them to forget to do it for me because they have lives too.
We didn't even have a conversation about it. We just stopped doing it.
We,
Like, we didn't
I
talk
don't think
about it.
we talked about doing it, but I don't think we ever actually checked in with each other on it. It's like when we think about it, we'll ask.
But you know what though? You know what the difference is though?
Excuse
We
me.
both know we're the type of people, if we really wanted to get it done, it would get done with or without
with or without
an accountability partner.
And especially I like because I think most people usually use accountability partners for like workouts and stuff like that. I'm stubborn. If I've made up my mind that I'm not going to the gym, I don't care what accountability partner reach out to me and tell me how much of a bum I'm being. Looks like I'm being a bum on
And
my
we the same.
couch. I don't
And
care
I
what you
think
said.
that's the thing, 'cause we both be like, girl, be mad. I ain't coming. And that would be, I'll talk to you tomorrow then.
Yeah, like me and Nate said we were going to go to the gym together. And I'm all for that. I don't mind going to the gym with people, but I do have a few requirements. Like my biggest thing with the gym is we can go together, but that
But we
doesn't
ain't
mean
sticking
we
together
don't have to
though.
stick together once we in this gym.
Because I love classes and you not really into classes.
I like
that.
classes, just not the type that you like.
Yeah, I love different classes.
Yeah, you like cycling and stuff like that. I refuse to go to a cycling class. I would much rather go to Zumba, and I also like to do a lot of weightlifting. I like CrossFit and stuff.
Ain't for me.
Yeah. So I'm like, I want to be able to go do that stuff. And Nate would do it. But the biggest thing with me and Nate was we were talking about doing this around the time when winter was just getting started. So I'm like,
Are we really finna do this when it's winter?
he would, but I know damn well if I see a singular snowflake, I'm not going anywhere. So I know that if me and him talk about doing the gym on specific days, he will show up, rain, sleet, snow, hell, whatever. He will show up. And then he'll get a text from me like, not coming. And he will be pissed.
Yeah, he already there.
Especially because he was willing to get a gym membership for the gym that I want to go to, not the one that he typically goes to. So he like, if
I
there's
done
a
switch gyms and everything.
and I wouldn't even be mad at him for being mad. You have a right to be mad. You done switched your whole gym just so that you can accommodate me so that me and you can go work out together. But I know I would be on my bullshit. So no, don't do that, sir. Now, if you decide you just want to go to that gym because he said he liked the fact that it has a pool in it and everything.
Okay, good for you.
Okay, if you decide you want to just go to that gym, then hey, do it. I still think you should check it out. It's a nice gym. But I won't be there until maybe like March, April time frame. Sorry. But yeah, I just think you need to be honest with people. I don't do the accountability thing no more. I hold myself accountable as much as I possibly can. Now again, I'm biased because I am me. Sometimes I let myself off,
We both do.
and that's
This is
part of my
how
problem.
I got that workout equipment that I ain't using.
I got a bunch of workout equipment that I don't use too,
We
but
both
oh
do.
well. But yeah, I don't do the whole account. Do y'all do accountability partners? Because we don't do the accountability partner
It's like
thing.
either we gonna do it or we ain't. We both have the determination to go, if I
Mm-hmm.
really, which is also what we amping up. So hey, we might be fine in 2026.
Might be, might be.
Or it might just be where we are. And
You
it's
never
fine.
know.
And it's
Only
fine
God,
either way.
only God knows.
But
But
yeah, I'm
yeah,
like,
I
I
don't see anything
don't.
wrong with telling her. Now,
But that didn't seem like real accountability partners. It seemed like she was just leeching off her. It didn't seem like, especially if she's like, yeah, I'm there for her, but then she ain't tell me nothing.
right? Yeah, I don't. But still, just regardless, I don't do. And I also don't do the whole New Year's resolution thing.
Like I said, if I want to change my life on a Tuesday in October, because that is literally what happened when I decided to go back to school on a random day in October. I thought, you know, January, I'm taking my ass back to school when the new term starts.
Mhm.
And that's what the hell I did on a random day. I
Yeah,
just was like, I'm taking my ass back to school. And it'd be like that sometimes. And I didn't need an accountability partner or none of that shit. I just woke up one day.
it was like, yeah, this is what I'm doing.
I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and quit playing and just go and do
I mean, yeah, I just don't. For me, it's just like, just if you want to lose weight, if you want to do better
it. You know what to
financially,
do.
sometimes having that accountability partner does help. But that,
The thing is, the accountability partner, it doesn't do anything for me because there's no real consequences if I don't.
exactly.
But that's why my version of accountability partner was getting a personal trainer that I prepaid. So then I was like,
Even then,
it was enough for me because I was paying that girl good money. I said, oh, I'm going.
I've had
I'm
personal
going.
trainer. I've had personal trainers and paid them good money, but my mentality is still, yes, I'm at this appointment. Yes, I'm still moving. Yes, I'm still working out. But if I ain't feeling it, I'm not fucking feeling it.
But the thing, you know how the gym is. You not feeling it when you go, but then when you start working out, you fine. You're happy to be there.
Yeah,
You ain't mad you came.
once I'm at the gym, it's very rare that during a workout, once I'm done, I'm still just like, ugh, I still don't feel any better. It does happen, but it's
Especially that time
very
I was
rare.
sick and trying to go to bar, that was stupid. Now bar is something you sick, don't go.
Even if you just like,
So don't go to
for
bar.
me, because I know sometimes working out will elevate your mood and all that stuff.
Mhm.
And there has been times where I wasn't in a good mood, and even after that workout, I was still not in a good mood, and I was like, I just wish I would have stayed at home.
That has never happened.
That has happened to
That
me
has
before. Where I'm
never
just like,
happened
I
to
don't
me.
feel like I had a good workout. I don't feel like it was just ugh.
That has never happened to me.
Oh, it has happened to me.
By the time I get there and I'm working out, woo, and I feel good to go.
Most of the time it's like that, but occasionally, it's not often, it's very rare. But occasionally, yeah, sometimes afterwards I'm like, I don't feel like I gave it my all, and I feel like it was because of my mood that I didn't give it my all, so now it wasn't that great of a workout. Whatever.
You know what though? I don't punish myself though.
I don't punish
So if
myself, but
I
I
go,
recognize the fact that the workout wasn't that great.
I pat myself on the back feet and going. That's it. I'm like, you know what? You went. You didn't want to go.
Oh
Good
yeah,
for
I do
you.
that too. I still say, well, at
Good
least
for
you
you.
went. You could have not went.
Was that a good workout? Hell no. But did you go? You sure did.
I
Look
still
at you.
moved, but it's like,
Look at you.
you just didn't enjoy it as much as you usually do. But yeah, so main character moment.
Yeah.
What are you manifesting for 2026? Because that is right around the corner. Well, literally, when this episode comes out, it will be tomorrow.
I will be a nurse by the end
By the end of
of
2026.
2026.
Nice, nice, nice.
That'll be fun.
That's going to be interesting. Because let me tell y'all, 3 months ago, I had no idea that this woman wanted to be a nurse. I knew that at one point in her life she had considered it
Yeah.
and decided against it. But then it was what, last month, where you said, oh yeah, I ain't even tell you, I'm in nursing school. I was like, what the fuck?
That's literally how I am, y'all. Like, I literally am that way.
And honestly, I was just like,
That's Jay for you.
I will say this. The first thing that crossed my mind, I said, this is the same motherfucker that will talk about me for all my 60 million projects.
I sure do.
But then this girl is about to get ready and graduate. Hasn't even graduated with this degree yet that has nothing to do with nursing. And now saying, oh yeah, I'm already enrolled in nursing school. What? When did this become a thing?
But you know, that random day.
Yeah.
It was.
Sometimes it be that way.
A random day in August. I said, you know what? You should maybe do that thing you were scared to do. And I was like, you know what? F it.
Doing it.
Went and took my half seat, passed my half seat, was like, cool. They was like, yeah, give us some money. And I said, okay, here you go. And now I'm going.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see nothing wrong with that.
I do that. But that's how life goes. Like, you know, because it's something that's been in the back that I was scared to do. I was like, I don't know. I don't know. And then one day I was like, the time you wasted hemming and hawing, you could have been done.
Sure
So I'm like, well, just do it. I was like, you could have been did it by now.
Well, I am rooting for you. It ain't gonna be easy, but I think you'll do it.
And then on top of that, now it would have been harder had I been alone, but I'm not.
Yeah.
So it's like I just be like, hey, these the bills I ain't paying. Here you go.
I wish.
Here you go.
But yeah, I mean that's good. You'll have what, your nursing degree, and what's the current
My
degree?
bachelor's in health and human services, which I think they can correlate together because it is. And then I can use that to get into administration faster. Because honestly, I don't know how to nicely say this. I don't want to be on the floor fighting for my life. You don't want to
be in the trenches
my entire career. Now, I'll do that for like 2 to 3 years just to say I have that experience that will qualify me for the other stuff, because you have to have that experience to elevate, period. Right. So I'm like, I'm going to do that. And then my real dream is to do aesthetic nursing.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Like giving people Botox and stuff.
I figured.
I give rich lady Botox and then we have a good time.
Open up your own practice and do it. Make a hell of a lot of
money. Might be an NP. Depends on how I feel. Might be an NP, might be a PA.
Either
Depends on how I feel.
bring it to Indianapolis, or if you're looking to really make some money, you'd have to leave Indianapolis so you can charge
I know that,
big
and
bucks.
I've thought about that.
Like Atlanta, LA.
Well, not even. I think
New
I
York,
could here.
Chicago.
Because there's not that much competition here.
I just meant price points.
Yeah, I'm like,
because
it's not
you still
that
need to
much.
charge for the area that you're in.
And I will be in the burbs. We all know I'm not going to be in the city. You know I'm not going to be in the city. Yeah, I ain't fighting no crackhead for no parking spot. Like, I'm not doing it.
For me, and of course, I'm sure you guys can guess, I am manifesting growth, both personally and professionally. I want to see at least double the growth for the podcast next year that we saw this year.
I think we can.
I genuinely think we can. I genuinely think we can. You know what? Know why? Because we got some of the best audience. And
sure
they be sharing our stuff.
Sure do. Love and appreciate y'all.
Heart. So yeah, I am manifesting at least double the numbers that we've seen this year.
And
I'll be honest with you, our first year
ain't bad.
Wasn't bad.
We didn't do bad at all. I don't feel.
So that's what I'm manifesting for 2026 for not just me but us.
I think it'll be good.
Yeah, I do too. Okay, so that's also the weekly question for the audience. What are y'all leaving behind in 2025, and what are y'all manifesting for 2026? Tell us in the comments, please, and thank you. But anywho, so Jay, yes, we need to talk about this.
What are we talking about?
Sean Combs, The Reckoning.
50 is petty and I love it.
Oh, knew when I first saw when I first saw the commercial, I think I saw an ad for it on like TikTok or something like that. I don't remember which platform it was, but I saw an ad for it. And then at the end, it said executively produced
Curtis
by
Jackson.
Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. I said, how much does one man have to hate somebody to do this? And I say this knowing full well I was going to consume
You
this.
know you that level of petty. So I don't even know why you calling him out. He has money and he is petty and there's nothing that can... Here's the thing though. I'm not too mad at him for being petty because all these people that were surrounding that man very easily just gave up this intel. It
Seems
was
that
not
way,
that
yeah.
hard for him to get... For one, the videos he got was because Diddy evil ass didn't pay the videographer that he paid to be there.
Yeah,
So
did you see that
he didn't
Diddy
pay
is
him.
telling Netflix that he gonna sue them if they don't take the documentary down?
Too late.
Saying that they illegally got that information.
No, they did not. The person who you paid to videotape you did
Sold
not
it.
pay. And that was technically his thing. Since you didn't pay for them, they became his property. And he sold them. He had every right to sell it. He had every right. It was his stuff. So, and again, why would you... My thing is, why would you, knowing what you had that man record, not pay him?
I would have paid him in advance. I'm like, here's at least half because I know what you about to record.
I would have paid for the whole thing just to be safe. Like, here's
Yes.
the whole thing. Give me... So that way...
First of all, I wouldn't document any of that shit.
You know why he documented? He's so cocky, he thought he was going to win. I think that's why he was so cocky. He thought he was going to win. He wanted to look back on it.
But still, be smart. I wouldn't have him document the parts where I'm out in the city, clearly doing PR work, letting people hug me, and then I get in the car and openly say, now I need to go take a shower because I had people hugging me. I've been with the people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, now that type of shit,
I would be smart enough not to say,
hey,
delete that.
Delete that. You shouldn't be recording right now. This ain't the time to record. I tell you when to record.
But the thing is, he did tell him to record it. He told him to record all that.
I'm like, you stupid.
It was like, and then all the interviews. The one thing I was thinking the whole entire time is, for one, it's a lot of death surrounding that little man. Two,
from what I can tell, he caused all of them.
Yeah. And two, I go, all of these people witnessed all of this from the beginning. And they don't view themselves as bad people, right? But I feel like if you witness all of this shit, you're there. You know all of it. And you sat there, sat back, did nothing. Even when people came forward like, hey, he doing this stuff, you still stayed silent. And now you want to act like that, oh, I'm so glad I have a chance to speak out. You always had a chance to speak out.
First of all, show of hands of who all knew that Bad Boys Record had a co-founder.
No one, because he made sure nobody.
Person.
And that man only got 25%.
And then he came back and took that.
And he did all the damn work, really. He did all the work.
The way that man has so many receipts on like what he did for that company, I'm like, so that was your company.
And the messed up part is he couldn't even get the money because he filed the claim too late to try to get any money.
And Diddy
My thing is like, so you sat there, knew that man didn't pay you and was paying expenses while he wasn't paid you. You should have paid yourself. You had access to the money. Secondly, I'm like, I don't... And then he didn't pay none of the artists.
Which that don't surprise me.
That don't surprise me at all.
Unless you just like Beyonce or something.
But here's what
you
he
don't
did,
really
though.
get paid all that much money.
Because he made everything so high, and then he inserted himself in all the videos to pay himself.
And I
so
was
he
like,
could pay himself.
And honestly, but now that part I wasn't mad at. I said that makes sense.
My thing is, it only makes
But I would
sense
still pay my artists too, though.
If how you gonna pay yourself and not pay them?
Exactly.
And that was my thing. Like, how you gonna pay yourself and not pay them? And then you pick the most expensive studio so that they'll never be able to even make enough money to pay you back.
It wasn't even he picked the studio because he owned the studio.
You could have made the price whatever you wanted to.
Or here's my thing. I wouldn't charge my artists
to use my studio that I only got from them in the first place.
Now, I would expect their record sales and stuff to cover
the use,
mortgage and everything, the overhead of this place.
And which it would have.
But
in which it did
I wouldn't charge my artists to
be in
come and
there.
have their recording
And
sessions.
he would do that.
But I would charge, like, if somebody, like some random person wanted to like use my studio,
Yeah.
yeah, you can rent my studio for a certain dollar amount. But I found that odd. To me, that would be no different than if, say for instance, that you were hosting a girl's perspective with somebody else, and y'all were using my studio. Y'all are signed to my studio, but I'm like, oh, but in order to record in this studio that y'all got a contract with me for as
You gotta
my
pay.
my talent, y'all still got to pay me $9,000.
I'd
Like,
be like, no. But he took advantage of people that were so hungry for it. And he took advantage of them.
did you see the part where the girl that used to be in the band, where she was like, immediately after they found out they made it into the band, they went to the backstage and they had like a thick contract for
And
them.
he told him he had to hurry beside me.
Said they had 24 hours. And she said that she had her lawyers look at
And the
it, and
lawyer
her lawyer told her, this will get you fame, but it will not get you fame and fortune.
Yeah.
And she said, we signed it anyway.
That was your fault. A lawyer was real with you, like, yeah, you'll be famous, but you will not be rich.
And to be honest, she ain't even famous. I ain't even
She
know who
ain't
the
neither
fuck she
one.
was.
She would have been better off getting some money.
Like, I remembered her face, but I was like, I don't remember her from being in a music group.
At all.
I was like, I feel like she was on, and not even Making the Band, because I've never seen an episode of Making the Band in my life.
First of all, from watching Making the Band, we knew that man was nuts and mean. From
I just
watching
heard
Making the
about
Band,
it.
like he was doing crazy shit. He had
Yeah,
them
I've never
doing
seen it.
crazy shit that had nothing to do with being an artist. Like when he had them go to New York to get that cheesecake. What the hell that have to do with you being a recording artist?
Yeah, I've never seen Making the Band
It was a mess.
because
I can't watch it as an adult. I think I get too pissed.
I was just genuinely uninterested in Puff Daddy, Sean Combs, P. Diddy, whatever you want to call him. I just genuinely was not
the
interested
thing
in
is,
him.
I didn't watch it for him. To me, it was like the same thing
But
as American
always,
Idol, where I'm just watching a new group come about. It wasn't about him per se at all.
and I understand that, but for me, it was like the way he always inserted himself into every
Everything
single
would have pissed
music
me
video.
off.
I was like, he's just gonna make this about him.
And he did.
So I was like, I'm not interested. And he did. He was like, I can't think of one. I mean, I'm sure there are some, like some Mary J. Blige videos that he produced that he wasn't in. I had no idea that he was behind Jodeci.
Yeah.
I had no idea that that was him, like curating their whole thing.
Because he was not in they shit.
No, he wasn't. That was before he had enough presence to do that.
And even when he did, he still didn't be in they shit.
They were done by then.
But it's
He had
still.
done.
He was in everybody else shit. He was in Usher shit. He
Yeah,
was in
but remember,
everybody's
Usher and
shit.
stuff came after he left.
Yeah, it did.
Got fired
Right.
from that record company. It was after he had started Bad Boys, that Usher and stuff, and he had the power to put himself in all those videos.
And my thing is, because he used those people to get fame and money for himself. Like, because he has no talent on his own. He just leached off of talented people to make himself rich and famous, which is messed up.
Which I don't care what nobody say. I fucked with it with some of his music though.
I'm gonna tell you, Last Train to Paris was not a bad album.
It wasn't.
It was a good ass album.
And people was like,
he
he can't rap, he can't do this. I'm like, look, we got plenty of rappers out there that can't rap that are doing hella good.
He can't. He paid people who can to tell him what to say.
Which is
That's
cool.
what he did.
If that's what you need to do, fine. I still fucked with it.
Just put their name where it belongs instead of your own. That's all.
I don't care what he did. You know, that the song, the Biggie song, Missing You, that I'm always gonna rock with that song. Now, don't get me wrong, he is purely the devil by charging Biggie's estate for his own funeral. That is wild. That is devil behavior.
I don't know why Faith Evans didn't say nothing about that, because I would have said something about that.
I wonder if she even knew, because honestly, I wouldn't put it behind him to at that time have full control over Biggie's estate.
Maybe.
But yeah, I'm just like,
Here's the thing that I watched it. I said, first of all, Diddy is responsible for Biggie being dead because he was supposed to be in Europe.
And he
Because you
wanted
didn't want
to
him to
leave
go.
and he wanted to go to Europe.
Because you were jealous of him getting some attention. So you was like, we gonna go to LA and party.
That ain't even why he did that. He did that because they had just murdered Tupac.
And he was trying to be over there playing around.
Set a point that we can be here. It don't matter if this is enemy territory.
And playing around. And Biggie didn't want any parts of it. He
wanted no parts of it. And that's the other thing.
So he murdered him. I don't care what he say. It's his fault. That's just how I feel about it.
And I was like, I feel like everybody knew that the beef between Tupac and Biggie was curated
manufactured by him. The thing is, my mom used to talk about this all the time because she was mad because she felt like that man should have been in jail. Because she was like, we all know he's responsible for both of their deaths.
Oh, 100%.
The thing is, it's worse because we all know it, but no one can prove it, but we all know it. We all know he was like, it's so much death surrounding him. Like those people in his early days that got trampled to death because he oversold. That was crazy.
Now, I will say
that's the crowd fault more than his fault.
Yeah,
I will say that.
He couldn't have predicted that would happen.
But 9
people was, and for some reason I was like, why do I feel like I remember this? But then at the same time, I'm like, Jocelyn, when they just said that happened, you would have been not even 4 years old. There's no way you could remember that.
You might have seen it in the news and remember seeing it.
I don't know, but I was like, why does that sound familiar? But I don't know.
But then I look at his young girl, I said, he looked like a dweeb, didn't he?
He did. But at the same time, all the stuff that I was hearing about, like even years ago when I first heard like, oh, you know, when he first got into trouble, I do remember when him and Shine got in trouble with the gun situation. Nothing about that surprised me. I was like, okay, yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
He's been in nothing but legal trouble for a long time.
I mean, and by this documentary, legal trouble is what started his fame. Like that whole trampling thing with the crowd.
That's when he blew up.
That's when he got his first level of fame. And I was just like, yeah, nothing that I'm hearing in this documentary is surprising me. It sounds completely on par for him.
It's just, the thing is, we all knew it, but like hearing it out loud. But then again, all the people that were surrounding him and knew all of this shit. And now they're like, oh, he was such a bad guy. But what are you? And that was my whole thought.
And I understand the whole, sometimes you are scared because he did get enough power that he was clearly able to get rid of people. But here's my thing.
Aubrey has been speaking out about this man since like the girl from Danity Kane.
Okay, yeah.
She has been speaking out about this man for such a very long time, and everybody tried to dismiss her as crazy, even though everybody was like, yeah, what she said was true. Like, they tried to dismiss her as crazy. Oh, she just want fame. Until she been saying that man is evil for like 20 damn years.
I mean, but look at R. Kelly. They did the same thing with R. Kelly. I mean,
and we know that he married Aaliyah.
We knew that R. Kelly was doing the shit that he was doing.
And Diddy got R. Kelly looking like an angel. But anywho.
To me, it's actually the opposite. R. Kelly, to me, still is worse. Because Diddy, yeah, we had, like, people were saying all this stuff. Now, to my knowledge, did they show, like, concrete proof? Like, yes, this happened. Here's the proof.
Yeah, oh, dude got all the receipts.
Yeah, but he was able to like buy them off or whatever. R. Kelly, I don't know if you remember in the early 2000s, this man had a whole trial. They showing the videos in this trial.
Yeah, the P on you with the Dave Chappelle.
Yeah. And people making POV skits about this shit. So we have the visual proof that R. Kelly did this stuff.
The loophole with that one was,
but yet the whole community is still like, we back R. Kelly.
I don't know what that was about. You know how hard it was for me to give up Step in the Name of Love?
Was R. Kelly able to still have all this proof against him? Actual people at that point was on LimeWire downloading the videos and watching him pee on this little girl. And still people are saying, nah, we still fucks with R. Kelly.
Because because, you know, here's the crazy loophole about R. Kelly that people have in their minds.
Okay.
well, he didn't like young girls. He liked teenage girls. It's
It
sick. No,
don't
but you know that's
matter.
how they feel. And it's sick. And I'm like, a child is anyone under 18. That is a child. I don't care if she act grown, quote unquote. I don't care if she look grown, quote unquote. I don't care if she even present herself to you. She is a child and you
And leave her
knew
alone.
she was a child. Ugh, it's a mess. But then P. Diddy, his mess.
Yeah, and I'm just
The thing,
like,
his stuff was psychological warfare.
and that's what I mean.
Like,
Sometimes
it
the psychological stuff
was.
is harder to
God
prove.
dang,
So
it
I'm
was
like, so I can
nuts.
understand how he got away with it for so long. But I stand on this though. Diddy should have more than 50 months in prison.
That's what being rich gets you. You can buy
And
it
I'm
all.
just like, he got acquitted. How did he get acquitted for the shit that he did to Cassie when we
It was on
have
video.
proof of what he was doing to this girl?
And the escort saying
Yeah.
everything.
And I'm just like, there's no way. That's no way that money wasn't behind that.
Well, that was the point of 50 Cent one dude stuff. He was like, because ain't he feel like, and that's why he makes sure all the interviews and shit is on was it CBC? Because that's the one channel they can watch in jail. He's fucking nuts.
50 Cent, he is
I'm
a
gonna tell you
mad
this.
genius.
No stone was unturned, and I can appreciate that. No stone was unturned with them. It's just, I'm watching it because most of this shit transpired while I was too young to fully know what was going on.
Exactly, yeah.
So I'm watching it like, so everybody knew all this shit. Everybody knew all of this shit.
See, and I'll be honest with you. In the last episode where I said I was going to leave 25% of my pettiness, because I don't want to get to the level of petty that 50 Cent is at. One, I'll be honest with you, I likely will never make the amount of money that 50 Cent is making without being famous, and I don't want to be famous. So let's just say that. But if I ever did make the money that Curtis 50 Cent Jackson makes, I don't need to have that pettiness with me, because I would do the same thing. The petty trails I would be on.
The thing is, he is the type of petty that it was ingrained in him from his DNA to be that petty.
Mm-hmm.
Even if he was poor, he would still be this fucking petty. I don't think he would be any less petty.
Yeah, but I think if he was poor,
it'd be harder to be that petty.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I know that if I made his level of money, I would be on that same level. I don't want to be on that level.
And it could be not just him hating him. He could just hate that he got away with it. And that's really what's pissing him off. Like, this is crazy that this man basically bought his freedom when he has so many witnesses and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Especially damn, not Biggie. Diddy was his own witness with these damn videos. How can you have somebody video something like that and not pay them? Like, that wouldn't, the audacity to be like, I ain't gonna pay you, you ain't gonna do nothing. What you
How arrogant. How what's the
God, like,
I can't even think of the word that I'm looking for.
It's ridiculous.
It is.
It's
crazy. It was a crazy documentary. I still have one episode left to watch.
It's good. I ain't gonna say it ain't good.
I was just like, gosh, this man, he's evil.
And even with the Biggie and the Rolling Stones, I was like, ooh.
Oh yeah, took Biggie's Rolling Stone cover after he died. I was like,
even after he died, you stole it. God damn, you so evil.
Talking about some "know you in heaven," smiling down, watching us while we pray for you. Every day we pray for you.
Nobody wants your prayers, devil.
But it's like, look, you ain't praying for me. You are happy that I am gone. I was a loose end that you had to take care of, because like they said in the documentary, if they had started to tie Biggie, look into Biggie's death more, they would have tied it back to Tupac.
Mm-hmm.
He had to get rid of Biggie.
And I think that's why he wants to go so bad. So then he knew they would get pissed and shoot at them. I think he knew it. He was like, "No, you ain't going to Europe."
I think he knew that after what he did to Tupac, that people would think, "Oh, Biggie must have something to do with this," which people did.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what did he do? Well, let's go to LA, because he knew they was going to retaliate against them. And what did they do? kill Biggie. And now it just looks like, oh, it was because of the East Coast
And
West
it
Coast
what
thing. No, it's because Biggie was the last loose end he needed to get rid of. And I'm just like, just unnecessary death.
follows that man because he initiates it.
But anyway,
Better watch. I'll be praying for 50 Cent. But
for real. Because I'm like, just because he in jail don't mean he ain't got connections. But honestly, I think 50 Cent make just as much, if
and
not
he
more
got just
money.
as much connection.
So I'm like, he probably got just as much connections. But anywho, I wanted to ask about something that I just found out about this week.
What?
Did you know that about the social media ban in Australia?
No. What social media ban in Australia?
Yeah, so apparently Australia, it goes into effect on December 10th, which I
In
don't
a
know what
couple
today
days.
is.
What is
Yeah.
today?
So by the time this come out, it would have been out for like what,
Mhm.
20 days or whatever. But apparently Australia is doing a ban on social media for anybody under 16.
I can see why they're doing that.
I think we should do that.
They'll never do it.
No, here they won't. They make way too much money off of
That's why they won't.
especially kids being on social media.
I mean, children having access to the internet is making so many people money. Like
Mhm.
even K-pop Demon Hunter. It's only big because children watch it. If it would have been aimed at adults, it wouldn't have been nowhere near as big.
See, I think K-pop Demon Hunter was aimed at adults.
It wasn't. It was aimed at kids.
See, I don't think so. I think it was aimed at both. I think it was aimed at adults.
But you know who loves it and took it off?
I think I
Kids.
honestly think, I don't think K-pop Demon Hunters was aimed at kids at all, honestly. I think it was aimed at people who like anime, which, to my knowledge, are mainly adults.
But baby, the soundtrack is booming. But
The soundtrack is top notch. But I'm just like, I think the US should do that because social media is one of the things that is ruining people's mental health. And I think
of all
kids
ages.
having exposure, and not even just exposure, having too much exposure to social media
Mhm.
at an early age is terrible for them.
You see the uptake in children committing suicide, like
And not
children.
even just children doing that, children harming
Mhm.
others.
Mhm.
And I'm just like, yeah, I think the US could benefit from doing that. Now, I am interested to see what other people think because I do think that's
Well, because the
gonna
thing
be a
is,
controversial
social
thing.
media and the internet are not the same.
No, it's not.
No one's blocking them from being on the internet. They're blocking them from like social media because honestly, that's not a place for children anyway. I do not think your child should have an Instagram account.
No.
Why? I do not think your child needs a Facebook,
Nope.
a TikTok.
Nope.
Your
No.
your child does not need any of that.
And here's another one. I don't think people should be posting their kids on social media. We got way too many predators out there that, yeah, you might have this on your private account, but think about the people that follow that private account.
They can easily screenshot that and send that to whoever.
Literally. I'm just like, I personally, granted, I don't have kids, but if I did, they are not going on a social media platform. I don't want nobody having access to my kids' pictures like that.
I do post my kids, but it's not stuff of like them at the pool. Never.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like them just smiling somewhere or like a school picture.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like, but you see, for one, I don't even post nothing to myself really. And I post my kids way less than I post me.
Mm-hmm.
Now I take a whole bunch of pictures on my phone.
Exactly.
But I don't post a whole bunch of pictures. And they do, when I say they are heavily monitored.
Yeah.
They are heavily, they don't. Jai want to be out here in this world. He scares me. Yeah. But I'm like, no, you ain't being out here, little homie. You're not. He wants me to make him a YouTube so bad. I'm not making you your own YouTube. He wants to make videos. He wants to be on Snapchat. He wants to be everywhere.
Now, I will say YouTube a little different.
But YouTube Kids is kind of... There's still creepy adults that make content that seems like it's for children, but it's
Yeah,
not.
but if the kid has a YouTube channel, most of the time it's just the kid in the channel. And YouTube has settings where you can say this was made for kids.
Hmm.
And then YouTube usually won't just like show that to a bunch of adults
They will not. Because I
unless
don't
you
get
have
kid
kids that
content
use your
account.
YouTube.
That's why I make
Yeah,
them separate ones because that stuff starts showing up. I said, I don't want no kids on my stuff.
right.
So I hurried up and made
So
him
I'm
his
like,
own.
YouTube maybe with
But I
monitoring.
don't consider
And
YouTube social media.
I think the only reason Australia, and honestly, I think that's a smart move for Australia. I think that's super
Because I
smart.
think 16 is a good age because they're
Yeah.
still in high school and stuff. I was like, I don't think a 5-year-old should have an Instagram page. I just do
I
not
think
feel
it's a
that.
smart move for Australia to do that.
I'm
Like,
gonna
let's
be
be for
watching
real.
that, seeing what the updates are on that.
But I think the US should
And
be
they're not going
right
to.
behind them. But yeah, because you know the US is all about money,
The
even though it
dollar.
ain't got none. Um, but yeah, I was like, that's interesting. And I think they should ban it. No one should be allowed on social media until you're at least 16.
Cause like their
Here's the
brain, they
thing
don't even
though.
have enough understanding of life to know what's real, what's fake, and that's what messes with them because they don't know the difference between reality
And I
and
can
curated things. Like they don't understand this is set up to look real,
and
but it's not.
I can bet that 16 was a compromise. Because me personally, I don't think you should be on social media until you're at least in college. Because then you've grown up a bit, you understand life a little bit, you're a little more mature. I don't even think a 16-year-old, 16-year-olds is what? Sophomore in sophomore in high school.
Yeah.
You still in the trenches at that point.
You are, but I
But
think you
you're a
know the
little
difference
more,
between real and fake at that age.
you
And I
should.
think that's why they did it. Because you know the evangel, he don't know difference. He really think them damn demon hunters is gonna come out and party with him. And I've had to explain to him, like, but this is why I don't let him on the internet like that. I'm like, because he don't understand the difference, but he thinks anything he sees is real.
But
And it's
I would
like,
also say like
no.
the only reason I said 21 or something like that is because like in the US that's legal drinking age, which I believe in Australia that's close to their legal drinking age too. Like 16 or
I
something
don't
like
think
that.
16 is bad. I think
But I
16's
was like,
okay.
if you can't even drink alcohol, which also has impact on your brain, just like social media can, don't be on social media until at least you can have a drink.
No, I think 16's okay.
Yeah, I think it's okay, but I still think it can be it's a little more hit or miss when you're 16.
I think that's okay.
Just because
Because that's
kids are
well,
still
no, let me
super
think.
immature at that point.
When did I actually start being on social media?
I didn't get my first. I didn't start. Well,
Mine was middle school, but we're different
but
ages.
you have to think too. Social media then is completely different from what it is now.
It was not a curated place at that point.
Exactly.
It was for real a real place.
Social media literally was just for fun.
Yep.
That's it. Now you have people that go on social media just to fuck with people.
Which I find, and you know what's
And
crazy?
I can 100% see a 16-year-old doing that shit.
Because the trolls
16-year-olds are not that mature.
And the trolls are never who you think they are. You'll be surprised. You'll be like, you ain't a troll. You can't be. Like, the trolls are never who you think they are. Very alarming.
So
very alarming.
That's why I said a 16-year-old typically is still pretty immature.
I think 16 is okay. I do.
It can be. But I think you're thinking about it from your own lens of what you were like when you were 16.
Yeah, I wasn't no asshole on the internet, buck
Exactly.
wild crazy.
Now think about the 16-year-olds that are the complete opposite of you.
I mean, if they want to be on the
this
internet,
time and age, where the 16-year-olds from when we were 16 is not the 16-year-olds of today.
Well, that's because they had access to the internet.
Exactly.
Well, it's not only that, it's just, and then also the parents, because we are at the age where we are the parents. The people in our age group are the parents raising these kids. And quite frankly, a lot of us ain't doing good. And I hate to say it. A lot of us are not doing that good. Man, we're not
some
doing
of the
that
stuff
good.
we say on this podcast, it might hit hard, but sometimes that's the stuff that people need to hear. I'm sorry.
Because I feel like what I see in children, like even like Jai's at my youngest age. I'm like, I don't like this. And the thing is, most of the behaviors they have, the parents endorse. And that's my, I'm like
Mm.
they think it's cute that their child is bad. They think it's cute that they don't listen. And I'm like, I don't think that's acceptable. They go, well, he gonna do what he wanna do.
What
He's a
you mean?
child. He is a child. He cannot do what he wants to do.
Nah, pass on that.
You know, or they put so much emphasis on their looks. Like a lot of their childhoods were taken by materialistic parents, which are the people of our age group.
Mm-hmm.
Like they get little kids that are 4 years old, put them in expensive shoes and tell them not to get them dirty. Let them wear the light up Spider-Man shoes. Let them have it and let them jump in a puddle.
I
Like,
never understood the people that's
don't
like,
like
oh, I'm
it.
going to buy these really nice shoes for my 5-year-old and then get real mad when he get dirt on it. He's a 5-year-old. What do you expect him to do?
Let him have the goddamn. The thing is, he want the light up shoe. You're materialistic and you won't let him have it.
Here's the
But
other
baby, he
reason
want
why
it.
I say hold off on social media, and I'm all about the social media ban for kids, because let them be kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if we do ban social media, that forces these kids to actually start being kids again.
Because it is that they don't play outside. They don't do anything.
And yeah, it's just like, let these kids be kids again.
Makes me sad.
It
I'm
actually
like,
is sad.
I'm like, y'all don't do nothing fun. Like, I'm trying to get, and anything we try to do that's halfway interesting costs $700. It's
Oh,
real out here.
over it.
It's real out here.
Honestly, it's why one of the main reasons I'm glad I don't have kids.
They pricey, but hey.
But yeah, I'm all about the ban. What y'all think? Do
Thank you.
y'all think the U.S. should follow suit and do
I
a
like
social
that
media
for
ban?
children. I do. Some of these adults shouldn't be on it either.
Hmm.
But I like that.
Yeah, I like that too. But anywho, with that, as usual, thank you guys for vibing with us. Thanks for hanging out. Love yous. Make sure that you're doing the usual things like comment and
Share
on YouTube. Make sure on the audio platforms you are liking, commenting, engaging there, following if you don't already. And answer the question: what are you leaving in 2025, and what are you manifesting for 2026? And do you agree with the social media ban that Australia is doing? And do you think the US should follow suit? Let us know in the comments. Mm-hmm. And with that, we will see you guys in the next one. Deuces.
Bye, friends.